why are we okay with people bashing themselves, but we're not okay with people complimenting themselves? You can badmouth yourself all you want. People applaud that. But if you say something positive, you're bragging. Hi, everyone. Let's talk about how awful we are to ourselves. We are so awful to ourselves. We are our biggest bullies. And it's something that I have been actively trying to work on in my life. And I'm going to tell you, it's worth the work. It's hard work, but it's worth the work because, well, let's start with this. First of all, I bet everybody listening can so easily name things that they don't like about themselves, that they're inadequate about, they feel they're inadequate about, right? And yet, if you ask them to list things they like about themselves, it'll be so much harder. I've done that on my social media where I've asked people, I think I did it for my birthday a few times where I was like, okay, for my birthday, this is what I want as my gift. I want you to write a comment and write something you really, really like about yourself. And one time I said, one of those things has to also include a physical feature. Because what I found is people have an even harder time, especially women, saying something they like about themselves physically. And people were having a really hard time. And a lot of the people that even commented were like, well, I don't want to sound like I'm bragging, or this is weird to say, or, well, maybe other people wouldn't agree, but I do think I have pretty eyes. It's like they had to add
like a disclaimer.
Yes. And it was sad. It actually made me sad. Maybe I should have done that on my birthday. And it's also, I know our society pushes us to not like ourselves. Because I'll tell you something, my humor is often self-deprecating. And that's very acceptable on social media or in stand-up or whatever I've done. Self-deprecating humor, people love when I put myself down. They love it. But I bet you anything, if I made a video that was like, I'm going to tell you all the things I'm great at, and I'm going to tell you all the physical features I just think are really hot and beautiful. You think people would love that video? Let's just be honest.
Oh, it would get negative comments.
I mean, it would be like, who the heck do you think you are? Like,
you're wrong about that.
You are so conceited.
Why would you think that's good looking?
Yeah. So why are we okay with people bashing themselves, but we're not okay with people complimenting themselves? And I saw it recently. I follow a lot of accounts that talk about perimenopause and menopause because, hello, I am in it. Which is why most of these podcasts, I have complete brain fog. And I'm like, I don't know if I just said something 3 times. I don't know what's going on. If I ever sound drunk on these, it's not alcohol, people. It's called
Definitely
perimenopause and motherhood. Motherhood definitely destroys our brain cells. But anyway, I was watching a video about this woman who was saying how I forget what it was, but she started doing something for her skin during perimenopause that helped because her skin was really dry. And she started, I don't remember if it was a supplement or whatever. And she was like, I mean, look at my skin. It looks so good. Holy crap. The comments. No, it doesn't. Your skin doesn't look good. What? Like, why? By the way, her skin looked good.
Yeah.
It looked good. It's like we're uncomfortable with people saying nice things about themselves. And that's really sad. Again,
that is sad.
The problem is that we are very comfortable with people bashing themselves.
Yes.
This is a problem. You know, there's so much talk out there about like women empowerment or, love yourself, know your worth, queen, like all this, right? Like empowering stuff.
Sure.
But then when you try to do that and when you say, okay, I feel really hot today, or I'm really good at this one skill, or I'm really talented at this thing. What does the world do? Knocks you down.
Yeah.
Every single time. So the whole love yourself and blah, it's bullcrap.
Yeah.
Those messages, they're literally just trying to set us up to feel even worse about
ourselves. Love yourself, but there's strings attached. You can't go out of this normal box that we've said.
Love yourself very quietly. Nobody wants to hear it.
Sure.
All we want to hear is about your inadequacies.
Right.
We don't want to hear about your successes.
Love yourself, but don't tell anybody.
Yeah, love yourself silently.
And don't let anybody know that you love yourself.
Yes.
Yes.
This is a problem. So I do have a little tradition that I do on birthdays. When we have somebody's birthday in the family, during the dinner, I've been doing for years, where basically we all go around and we say something that we really love about the birthday person, right? And I always have told my family, I don't even have to tell them anymore because they know, like, be really specific, not just like, you're kind, but like specific, because we really thrive in hearing that about ourselves. It's good for us to be complimented, right? But a few years ago, I changed it a little bit. We still all go around and say something we love about the birthday person. But what I added is the last thing that happens after everybody's done is the birthday person has to tell us some things they really love about themselves. Holy crap, are people uncomfortable with this? I'll tell you, my kids are great at it. My kids will tell me all day what they love about themselves. But the first time I had my in-laws do this, my mother-in-law, it actually broke my heart. She was so uncomfortable. She's like, no, I don't need to do that. And I was like, nope, Judy, this is my new rule. You have to do it. You have to tell us something you love about yourself. And she had such a hard time. And it wasn't because she doesn't know she has great quality. She knows. I mean, she's a very confident woman. It just was so uncomfortable. I mean, again, think about the way world sets you up, right? Like, you're not supposed to quote unquote brag. You can badmouth yourself all you want. People applaud that. But if you say something positive, you're bragging. You're a conceited, snob. So anyway, it took her a while. And then when she finally said something, it was something very generic. It was like, well, oh no, I know what it was. She said, well, I love that I have great kids and grandkids and in-laws. And I go, nope. I was kind of being hard on her, but she needed it. I feel like it was like tough love.
What did she finally say?
She said that she's really kind and she's really thoughtful and she cares a lot. And she likes her eyes, because I was like, keep going. You got this, Judy. She's like, I like my blue eyes. I'm like, yes, they are gorgeous. And like, we were just like pumping her up. It was actually really kind of an emotional moment. Aww. But it took her a while to get there. And even now, again, I added that a couple of years ago. It's still hard for her every year. And my father-in-law too, although I think it's harder for my mother-in-law. And they tend to still first go into, well, I love that I have such a nice family. I'm like, okay, you can say, I love that I was a great mother who raised such great boys. That's different, right? But like, they'll try to push the compliment onto someone else. And I guess that's also part of that whole thing we're raised with, where like, we need to be selfless and we need to just think about others and only compliment others and worry about others and make sure everybody else is happy and okay. But anyway, all that to say, we're sort of set up to hate ourselves because that's what's acceptable. And then all those magnets and journals that say love yourself and all that, it just feels very much like, okay, well, I tried and then I was made to feel even worse.
Right.
So I guess I would encourage everyone to ignore those stupid comments. And
yeah, I was just going to say, what do we do then?
I think we have to normalize it. I think that's the problem. It's not considered normal to hear people say, I'm really hot, I'm beautiful, I'm smart, I'm talented. Even now you're laughing because it sounds weird, right?
Yes.
Like, it just sounds weird.
Yes.
Why does it sound weird? But if I say, you know what, I really screwed up as a mother today and oh my gosh, you should see my stretch marks. You're not laughing because you've heard that.
Yeah.
And it's normal. Like, something has to change right now, this second. Like, let's all decide.
The change begins with you and me.
Yes, that's it. It begins with us.
Everybody listening.
I guess it wouldn't bother me as much if it wasn't as acceptable to trash yourself. Like, if both was considered weird, then fine. It's just weird, I guess, to talk about ourselves. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, why is... I don't know. I just think it's awful. And then we wonder why we're all like so insecure and so hard on ourselves. Well, also let's add all the businesses out there. That's their whole goal, is to make us feel stupid and weak and fat and ugly because that's how they make money. Right. So I always picture like when in advertising agencies, when they're trying to come up with commercials, they're all sitting around going, okay, how do we make, let's just say for some women's product, because most of my audience is women, how do we make women feel ugly, old, and fat so that they'll feel like they have to spend $300 on our product? And so what are we listening to every day through ads? You're ugly, you're fat, or even if they're not saying it in that way, they're saying it in a way where we need something in order to be prettier, better, slimmer, smarter, whatever.
Well, how many times am I looking on social media and somebody's like, oh, look at my eyes. I've got such crow's feet. And then I'm like, wait a minute, do I have those crow's feet?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I do. I need that too.
You weren't even thinking about your crow's feet,
No, I
but
wasn't.
now you're like
Now I'm
running
like,
to the
I think
mirror.
I have those.
Yeah. Do you remember during my first comedy tour, I would read actual negative comments I got? And one of the one of the comments, it's my favorite. I have a screenshot of it saved to my favorites because it's so good. This person went on all of my social media sites under multiple videos and posts and wrote, Christina, you're known for being, I wish I had it here because I want to read it word for word, but it was something like, Christina, you're known for being blunt and honest, but you're lying to your audience. Why don't you be honest with them and tell them the truth? You were born male. It's obvious by your manly jawline. And sorry, it's just so funny. By the way, this person's profile picture was like a little thing that said, I love Jesus. And I was like, maybe you need Jesus. I don't know, it's a typo. But the thing about that is I remember actually going to, like, reading it and being like, this is ridiculous. But then what did I do? I went to the mirror to check out my manly jawline.
Right.
I'm like, this wasn't even on my long list of insecurities.
Right.
This wasn't, it didn't even make the list. I did find a couple chin hairs. FYI, but I don't think that's what she was referring to.
Right.
But anyway, it just made me think of what you said.
That is funny.
You weren't even thinking about your crow's feet.
Right,
and now you see something, you're like, wait, I have crow's feet? I'm like, by the way, I don't think I have a manly jawline, but please let us know. And even if I do, I like my jawline.
Yeah, it looks great. You look
Call
good.
me a snob, call me conceited. I like my jawline. I think my jawline could win a jawline beauty contest.
It's a good
Or
looking
at least be a
jawline.
second runner-up. Whether it's shaven or not, by the way, hashtag perimenopause. Okay, so yeah, we need to flip that around, right? We need to start just being comfortable sharing our strengths. And I think we need to...
Why don't y'all do that? Why don't you name 3 things that you like about yourself right now?
Look at Will.
Will, what are you
calling
doing?
us out on it. I like this. You want to go first?
I thought of that, but I was not going to say it.
Go. You want to go? Should we go back and forth?
What did he say exactly?
He said you have to say 3 things right now that you like about each other.
Oh, that I like about Christina?
No, about yourself.
Oh,
Sorry,
oh.
I said it wrong. That we like about ourselves.
Okay, you go first.
Okay, and one of them, I'm going to make it harder. One of them has to be physical. Because I do think that's hard. I'm already like cringing, which is so sad. Because I think of myself as
This is ridiculous. We're having this conversation and I
think of myself as a pretty confident person. Okay. I like my waistline. I like my waistline. Do you know where my mind wants to go now? And I'm doing this because I know that people at home will do this. I want to say, obviously I've had 3 kids, so it's not what it was.
No, just
Why do we do that? I immediately
Right.
feel like I have to explain it, or I have to say, I do have stretch marks on my waistline, but I don't mind though. Like, no, I'm just gonna end it at, I like my waistline.
Great.
I like the way clothes fit me around my waistline. Okay, that's my physical one, I'll say. Although I do like other physical things about myself, and I think that's good. I hope everybody
Yes,
does.
yeah.
And you know what? I didn't always. I'll tell you that. I used to be incredibly insecure. I think everybody has insecurities. I don't think it's about getting rid of your insecurities like they're going to disappear. The way I've compared it in one of our videos we made, it's like that weird uncle that's going to show up, or cousin or whatever, that show up at Thanksgiving, you don't want him there. And instead of like letting them pick the menu and letting them lead the whole conversation, and maybe even sitting next to them, getting into a political argument with them, where like you do every year, instead you go, no, I'm going to sit on the other side of the table. I'm not going to engage. That's how I think of insecurities. Like you showed up. I didn't want you here, but you showed up. You're going to sit on the other side of the table. I'm not engaging you. I'm not letting you ruin my day. I'm not giving you any power. So anyway, okay, back to me.
Back to you.
I like that I'm creative, and I can pretty quickly come up with a creative solution to like a parenting dilemma or a life dilemma or something. I like that I'm creative.
Yeah.
I like that I'm completely okay with being weird. And I think that, especially because that's something I've actually put work into, not caring what people think. I can genuinely say, and you've seen this, I can genuinely say other people's opinion and judgment does not ruin my day anymore. And so that's an extra one for me that I like about myself, because that one actually took work. Okay, that was 3.
That was good.
Your
That was 3.5,
turn.
almost 4. You did good. Okay, physically, I do like my eyes. They're blue. And,
Beautiful.
you know, I like that.
Yeah.
They
You should
were-
love it.
Yes, I love my eyes. But let me say that as I'm getting older, it's harder for me to say things that I like about myself physically.
Okay, we're going to work on that.
I know. I'm turning 50 this year, and it's like I see myself changing. Like, you know, when you're going through puberty and your body is
Yeah.
changing.
This is cougar puberty.
It changes.
Yep.
And this is cougar puberty.
Yep.
So our body is going to change.
Yep.
And it's going to become different.
Yep.
And I'm struggling with that a little bit.
And there's a level of acceptance that.
But I don't think my eyes are going to change. So, you know, I guess maybe that's
Well,
a
your eyes are
constant.
beautiful, and if they change, they'll still be beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
You got this. You got this. By the way, Will, I'm putting you on the spot. You're going to. I know you're not
Yeah,
mic'd.
yes.
I'm going to hand you a mic, or you're going to mic
He's
yourself.
going to come over here
and you're
going to
tell us 3 things you love about yourself.
Yes.
I love this.
This is interesting.
He's getting a taste of his own medicine.
I love.
Do you know what? Can I just say one
Yes.
thing while you're pondering this?
Yes.
And you
Yes.
do you know that I can right now easily think of at least 20 things I love about you?
Great.
But think about that. We can do
Yeah.
that for our loved ones. We can easily without. We both had to sit here and be like,
Right.
like I don't need any to think of things I love about you.
Thank you.
We gotta
That's nice of
we
you.
gotta be able to do that for ourselves.
Um,
Yeah, you got this.
I like that. I don't know how to say it, but I like that I don't know if this is gonna be if this is gonna work for you. I don't know if this is gonna work for you.
disclaimers.
I like myself as a mom. Like
Yes!
I like that I love having fun with my kids and that they have fun with me and that we like to go do fun things and that I like to, you know,
You're one
at
of
least
the-
once a month we're like, let's go to the zoo or we go on an adventure.
You're
you
one of
know?
the best moms I know. I
you're sweet.
actually was hoping that this was going to be one of your 3 because I was like, I hope because parenting is so hard, and I, as your friend, like want you to give yourself credit for how good of a mom you are because it's hard
But
to
I'm
be
not
a mom.
perfect, obviously.
Can you just? You're not allowed to say that right now. Right now, you're only. By the way, if you were perfect, you would.
I wouldn't be a good mom.
No, you wouldn't be human.
That's true.
Like that's not
I think
possible.
part of
no, you're a great mom.
Being a good mom is you mess up sometimes.
You got one
That's
more to
okay.
go.
Okay.
Give me one that makes you really uncomfortable to say out loud. What's really uncomfortable for you to compliment about yourself? One that you're like, people will judge me for this. Do it.
Really?
Say it.
No, I don't know.
Yes. I like my small boobs.
That's one you just said.
That's for
what-
me.
yes,
That's for me, not for you.
Me too, but
No.
but yes, you've said yeah.
Well, I'm not going to comment on your boob side, but I was so insecure about my small boobs when I was younger. I love my small boobs. They are still optimistic.
Yes, they are.
They are staring straight at, not that there's anything wrong if they weren't, but I like my small boobs. And that took a while to get there.
That's good.
I used to take toilet paper and pad my, like literally white toilet paper. Couldn't I find something
know,
better?
right?
And stuff my bra in 7th and 8th grade because I was the flattest girl in class. And then one time I
Tell
did
it.
it and somebody threw me into a pool. And it was just bad. The toilet paper got all... Anyway, what's your 3rd compliment? By yourself?
Oh God.
I was trying to think of
Okay.
something that's more uncomfortable to inspire
Right.
you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I try very hard to be kind to everyone. Even if somebody cuts me off in traffic, I always try to find the best in someone. And I like that I do that.
You know what? Not only are you good at that, you've called me out on that.
I have? Oh.
Like you have helped me with my recovering pessimist thing where, I tend to find the negative. Like I've complained to you about stuff before and you have found a way to spin it for me. And like, well, maybe they were going through this or maybe this was happening. Like you're very good at like being kind and giving people benefit of the doubt and trying to like, you really do see good in people,
Thank you
which
for
is a
saying that.
great quality, especially in this day and age where everybody's attacking each other.
Right.
These were great. Will.
Okay,
you have a
Will,
mic?
here, let's switch.
All right.
Come on over, Will. I'm going to man the camera now.
Okay.
There we go.
Will is one of the funniest people I know. You can't be like, I love my belly button lint. Like you
like-
gotta be serious.
I like my small boobs.
You have to give us real ones.
Okay. So,
I guarantee you mine are smaller than yours because you work out.
all right. So one thing I love is my boys crave time with me. Like they want to play with me, which means I'm doing something right.
Yes.
So I love that. I love it when I see them saying, Dad, come and play, come and play. I love, okay, this is a weird one, but like I can go to Target and see a random stranger and feel empathy and compassion and love for that person. And
So good. I love these.
that means I'm not a totally crappy human, so that's good.
See, you're adding a negative. You're
But
like,
that-
you're
well,
like,
yeah,
okay.
but you know,
Okay.
I have love for strangers, and not like I love you, I want to marry you, but love for like, hey, there's another human, and I see you, that kind of thing.
I love this.
And then this is a weird one, this physical thing, because this one I had to train myself, but I love my nose. I have a huge schnozola, and for years I was like, if I could do anything plastic surgery wise, I would get a smaller nose. But then I kind of decided, screw that. This is the nose I was born with. This is what I have. And now when I see other people with big noses in public, I'm like, they're unique. That's what makes them not like everybody else. And I'm like, I love that. So
I love these. And by the way, I just want to say this, not that there's anything wrong with big noses. I never thought of you as having a big nose until you started talking about it. Like I've heard you say it before and I was like, really? Will has a big, which also says something like we see ourselves differently than other people
it was
see
this
us.
size when I was 5. So there you go.
Okay, these were great. So Will does not like being on camera. So this,
Bye.
I really, really appreciate this, especially that you're willing to be on camera in such a vulnerable way. Like Will, you are our new hero. Will
did a
is
much
now
better job than me.
our mascot for
Yeah.
the podcast.
Yeah.
What I realized when I was going through, so people who know my story know I went through a really hard time after my divorce when my kids were little and I was struggling financially and all that. And I sunk into pretty deep depression. And then so I would mark that as one of the hardest parts of my life. And then another part of my life that was really, really, really hard was years later when my oldest son was struggling with his own mental health struggles and suicidal ideation and all that. And I was trying to support him through that and just, feeling like a clueless mom. And there's one big difference between those two parts of my life and this is why I'm so passionate about trying to help people be kinder to themselves. During that first awful phase in my life, I hated myself. I genuinely hated myself. I was genuinely convinced that my children deserved better than me, that I had nothing to offer, that I was worthless. During that second stage of my life, years later, I no longer hated myself. Did I still, mess up and have days where I was like, shoot, I don't know what I'm doing and I feel clueless? Yes, most days I felt clueless, but I didn't hate myself. I got to a place where I accepted that I'm not supposed to know it all. I'm not supposed to know how to fix it and make it perfect. Was I still hard on myself at times? Absolutely. But I didn't hate myself. And what that did is it just made everything a lot lighter. I don't know how I would have survived those hard days with my child if I still had the perception of myself that I had back when I was in my 20s and 30s. And so the analogy I've used before, I think we made a video about it. We did make a video about it, is a sink full of dishes, right? Like imagine a sink full of dishes and every dirty dish in there is stuff that life threw your way, right? Financial struggles and stress and health issues. And maybe your child is struggling and marriage stuff and career stuff. And the sink is just piled up with like a lot of dishes and you're trying to manage it all. And when we are cruel to ourselves, all we're doing is making that pile bigger, right? We're adding a big dirty pan of you're not good enough and your kids deserve better. And now, a bunch of silverware that's like, here's a bunch of things you should feel guilty about. And all these things you are inadequate, areas you're inadequate in. We just make the pile bigger to a point where we look at it and we go, it's not manageable. Like I'm never going to get through this pile. Like it's just too heavy. It's too big. It's too overwhelming. So often when I do go into that place where I'm too hard on myself or I'm mean to myself, I'll actually stop myself and go, do you want to make it heavier and bigger? Do you want to add to the pile? Because this is a choice you are making, right? You are actually making a conscious choice, Christina, right now, to make life feel heavier and harder with the way you're treating yourself. And that right there, if I take the moment to stop and think that way, I'm able to go, nope, not doing it, not making it heavier. Because that's the thing. All of those other dishes in the sink, they're out of our control. Like there are so many things that that will happen in our life that make life heavy that are out of our control. The one thing that we can control, even on the heaviest, most painful, awful days, is how we treat ourselves throughout it all. Tough days are less tough when we're not so tough on ourselves. That's just a fact. So I did this experiment years ago. For some reason, I get my best video ideas in the shower. I think it's because I can't hear anyone screaming, Mom, I need you. Right. Or maybe it's because I'm not multitasking, right? And I actually called you.
Yeah.
I think I was still naked right at the shower. And I called you and I said, I have a video idea and we need to do it ASAP. And what we did basically is I called up some friends and I asked them, are you willing to be on camera and be vulnerable? And if we can show you the final cut and we can not use you in it if you don't want. But right now, I just need a commitment that you're willing to be on camera. Let me post it publicly, be vulnerable. And I had 4 women that agreed to do this. And one by one, they came over. They had no idea what was going to happen. They didn't know what they were walking into. One by one, they came over and I sat with them on the couch. By the way, you can find this video on my YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. I think we named it The Things We Tell Ourselves. And I asked each woman separately, tell me some of the cruel things you tell yourself. Tell me the awful things that go through your mind about yourself. And these women started opening up. And one woman said, I am just a mess. Like my mom used to have a nice, clean house. My house is always a mess. I feel like a slob. Another woman said, I don't think I'm a good mom. I really think my kids deserve better than me. Another woman said, I just feel like a fraud. I feel like a fake. I feel like a liar. I mean, every woman had her own version. And we all have that, right? That voice, the little bully in our head. And they just shared all these things that they tell themselves. What they didn't know is that we had contacted their spouses ahead of time and we asked their spouses to secretly send us a photo of each woman when they were young. And they were, each one, it was like a photo of them maybe like 4 or 5 years old. So once they were done telling me these cruel things about them that they tell themselves, I surprised them with this blown up photo of a 4 or 5 year old version of them. And I put it in front of them and I said, okay, now say those same exact things to this girl. Oh my gosh, I'm tearing up right now. None of them could do it. Do you remember? None of them could do it. They couldn't do it. They actually said, no, I cannot say something so awful to this cute, sweet little child. I can't do it. It sounds awful. And my response was, but you are saying it to her. You're saying it to her. Every single day you're saying it to her. And then you guys surprised me because I don't think I was expecting it from what I remember and gave me a picture of myself. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And I had to, think about the things I say to myself. And since it was just so powerful, since then, I've actually heard from so many people who follow me on social media who said, I keep a picture of myself, of a childhood picture of myself, either on my work desk or this one woman said that every time she gets out of the shower, there's a big mirror right there and she just trashes her body. She's like, oh my God, she just hates the way she looks. And so she put a picture of herself when she was little on that mirror. And when she gets out of the shower, the minute she thinks those thoughts, she has to look at the picture and try to tell that girl, you're fat, you're ugly,
right.
And she can't do it.
Yeah.
I love that experiment worked and it's been so powerful. I have very few pictures of myself when I was a kid, but I know exactly where they are. And when I have those days where I'm cruel to myself, it's like, I just quickly grab the picture. I'm like, okay, you're allowed to say all those things to yourself, but you have to say it looking at that girl. And I'm telling you, it gets real hard. It gets really hard, impossible pretty much. The reason I wanted to do that experiment is just to point out, we are so abusive to ourselves.
Right.
We would never, ever, ever say to our child, hopefully,
right.
to our best. I would never say to you as
No.
my friend some of the things that I've said to
Right.
myself. In fact, when you've come to me and you've had a bad parenting day or you screwed up, have I ever said to you, well, wow, you suck as a mom. Your kids
Never.
deserve it.
Never.
I can't even imagine, not only not saying that, I can't imagine thinking that about you. Why am I doing it to myself?
Right.
And we spend so much time teaching our children about bullies and, you know, not listening to bullies. And we spend so much time on social media. I've spent so much time on social media talking about those judgy people on social media and how awful their cruel comments are. Guess what? I'm a hypocrite because I do it too. I'm just not doing it to other people. I'm doing it to myself. How is that any better? How is that any better? I'm doing it, by the way, to the most important person in my child's life. I'm tearing someone down who is so important. I'm so important to my husband. I'm so important to my children. I'm so important to my friends. I should be important to myself, right? And yet I'm tearing myself down. So if you think that will help you, in fact, I will just tell you right now, it will help you. Find a childhood picture of yourself. I have a guy friend who recently we had this conversation and I told him about this video and my experiment. He started crying. And for Christmas, I gave him a picture of himself when he was a kid. I actually called his dad because I was like, who do I call? I called his dad and I said, can you just send me a childhood picture of him? And I framed it and I gave it to him for Christmas and he was in tears. So, you know, I'm always trying to find creative ways to help myself with the, you know, whether it's the sink analogy and stopping myself in the moment being like, I'm not adding, or whether it's the picture thing. Maybe you can come up with your own way. But I think we need to make it a point to practice, like make it as if you're training for a marathon or something, like train every day to just speak differently to yourself. And also to give yourself credit for stuff. Like, you know, like one of the sayings I've always hated, you know, that saying of like, you know, the things that you went through, those awful things you went through, they made you stronger. No, those things did not make you stronger. The way that you managed them made you stronger.
Yeah.
Even stuff like that, even those little things that we say to ourselves, like, yeah, that divorce or that this or that, you know, well, it was really hard, but it made me a stronger person. Nope. Give yourself credit.
Yeah,
you
did it.
You managing
Right.
the unmanageable. You getting out of bed every day during those awful days. You taking those baby steps forward even when you felt like you were constantly being pulled back. That's what made you stronger.
Yeah.
Let's start giving ourselves credit. Let's start bragging on ourselves. Because my gosh, the only thing I can think of that will come out of it is that we will all be healthier. And sure, we'll piss off some people that are really uncomfortable with our confidence. You know why they're pissed off? You know why they're judging us?
Because they're jealous.
Because their insecurities are so strong. And like sometimes I feel like when I behave in a confident way, when I compliment myself, when I say something positive of myself, the people that have the biggest problem with it, the people that criticize me the most, the people that will call me arrogant or snob or whatever, are the people that actually have the biggest insecurities. And in their heart, they're like, how dare she be so confident to say that when I can't?
And I think it's important to realize to listen to what to ignore those things. Do you know what I
Yes.
mean? If somebody says something negative, and don't listen to it.
Yeah.
You know, when you said you were in the shower and you got an idea for a video,
Yeah.
and you called me when you got it, you were totally naked. You did that another time. I thought you were talking about a different video. Okay?
Yes.
You called me and you were like, we got to make this video right away. I have an idea. And it was, do you remember you had 2 jars.
Yes.
And one, I think they put marbles in it. And one, marbles are going in and it's like people are saying good things. You're so beautiful. You're the best mom
Yeah.
ever.
M&Ms.
I love hanging out with you. Was it M&Ms? It was
Yeah.
M&Ms. I love hanging out with you. You know, all the good things. You're so beautiful. Your hair is beautiful. You know, love your
You're
eyes.
smart.
You know, you're
Yeah.
smart. You're funny. You're creative. And then the other jar, one little M&M falls in and somebody says something negative.
You're not good enough.
You're not good enough. That's right.
And what I did in the video, if you haven't seen it, by the way, you need to show this one to your kids. I look at the jar that's full of the positive compliments, and I look at the jar that just has one tiny M&M in it. And I pick up the one tiny one, and I hold it close to my heart, and I walk away. And then the screen says, which one will you choose to carry?
Yes.
And that's the key word, is choose, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yes, even when those people, criticize you, first of all, can we we're too old to care what people think. I don't don't care if you're 5 years old listening to this. I mean, that's weird. You should be playing with your toys. But even if you're 5 years old listening to this, like let's just decide we're too old to care what people think. But I'm gonna go a step further. I think we should do this. I think next time somebody, and it usually happens on social media because people are cowards and they hide behind screens, right? If somebody bashes us, I say we respond to them by complimenting them. That's what I think I should start going and looking at their profile. Like if somebody says, well, you're actually have a really ugly waistline or you're whatever. I'm going to go on their profile picture. I'm going to look at them. Try really hard to find something nice. No, just kidding. And I'm gonna be like, well, I want you to know that you have beautiful eyes. Let's just what are they gonna say to that?
Nothing.
Like, why argue with them?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe I'll just start complimenting them back. It's gonna make them so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll even add, well, you have really beautiful eyes, and I hope you realize how beautiful they are. You should go look in the mirror and admire them because they're gorgeous. Man, look at those lashes.
That's a great idea.
I know. Why not?
It's not hurting anything. It's just putting good in the world.
Yes. We love you all. Go love yourself today. Like, love yourself like you are your biggest freaking fan. For more support and hopefully what will feel like a virtual hug, you can check out my app, Hope and Humor Daily. Also, occasionally we will play voicemails that you leave us, questions on various topics on the podcast. So if you want to call, you can call 855-912-4175. You will not have to speak to anybody live. You don't have to be nervous. You can prepare your question, write it down ahead of time, and then read it, and we might play it. And also you can find me on social media everywhere at Christina with a K, last name Kuzmic, Kuzmic. Go freaking love yourself. Oh my gosh. Right. Like literally the minute I stop yapping, I want you to tell yourself 3 things that you freaking love about yourself and make sure at least one is how hot you look today. Because let me tell you, your ass looks so good in those jeans right now. Do you know how good it looks? It looks so good. Go have a great day. Bye.